Hi, my name is Patrick with Tech Delicious and Craft Delicious, and this is Nightingale. And in this very episode, we only really doing one thing, and that is crafting a bow and a refined bolt action rifle. And as you can see, I have already picked up a number of different things, and for some reason, yeah, I think they broke it. So they just did an update, and I think part of that update was that all fireplaces are just gonna passively light up stuff, and then until you actually do something when you're crafting. And it appears like Millie the mall is just gonna stand in that fire. How very ridiculous. And I actually have no way of turning it off. It used to be a way where you can actually do that, but yeah, so that's just going to be on now from now on. Yeah, that was one of the changes. Everything that has a fire. In the previous update, what they did is that anytime you were done crafting something, it would automatically turn off the flame. And then I saw in the part of the patch notice that yeah, they decided to then use it's not going to burn any other fuel, it's just going to be lit up. But given that Millie here likes to walk in fires, that just means she's going to be on fire all the time. Interesting concept. I'm not entirely sure I kind of sort of like it, but whatever. That's not the issue right here. So, we are going to do a refined bolt action rifle and a refined longbow. And as you see on the left hand side, that will require 4 different components. And for the refined longbow, 3 different components. And so to just give you a brief about the crafting system here is that it's very extensive. Now there are all kind of games out there that have different various crafting system where you just pretty much make a sword that might have a couple of slots for you to put something in it and things of that nature. And if you have watched my Avowed episodes, please watch them. Then you will see that you can do an incremental upgrade of the different items, right? So you add a little bit of stuff, it goes up a tick. You add a little bit more stuff, it goes up a tick. Essentially, the first base ones is like 3 different upgrades option. It gives you +1 in quality each time. What that means is that it increases the damage, the stun chance slightly, but that's about it. It doesn't add more features, right? And with the special items that you find, you can then unlock 1 or 3 different things. Those are kind of like themes on what that item do. So there's, for example, a handgun that shoots lightning bullets, and then you can make it to be like a lightning AoE, area of effect. That explodes, that has a chance to do so as an addition to it. But then again, you can also upgrade the quality of it, so you could essentially have that handgun for the rest of the game, I would assume, as long as you have the materials to continuously refine it. It's a little bit different here. The reason why this is a more extensive system is that you have better control on what you're actually crafting. Now, it's still an incremental system in the sense that, yeah, you will increase like range damage and things of that nature, but you are controlling via the different materials that you put into it how that's going to look in the end. So if you look at a refined bolt action, you have the barrel, you have leather, you have a stock, and you have an action. As you unlock further more advanced rifle recipes, then that might be a refined action, meaning that it requires more materials to bake into it to make that action. And that's kind of the key. So maybe you have 4 different materials you put into it, but due to the advanced nature of some of those materials, that will then require additional bake it in the oven, so to speak. So it just becomes more powerful. And since pretty much anything in this game has some kind of values to it, ranged, melee, hunger, less hunger, more stamina, etc., how you bake those pieces together makes all the difference. So, for example, let's look at stock. So if you look here at stock itself, it's gonna require a pole, okay? And the pole requires lumber. So that's 2 lumber for that. And in order to make a lumber, you have to have 2 wood bundles. So that's kind of sort of the step. It looks like in this case you don't mixing in any additional features to it. It's just straight, you take that piece of lumber, 2 of them, make it into that, and then the final product is a stock, right? So here you could choose, in this case, from regular wood, or you can have this one, which increases melee damage. Now, melee damage is not going to help you very much, especially if you have a rifle. It will help you if you make something like an axe, but not in this case. And if you use the regular wood bundle, it's just injury resistance, basically. So you're thinking, well, obviously we want to use the wood bundle. True. But in this game, you also have other type of lumbers that I haven't unlocked yet, but if you have watched the series, and you should, you'll notice that I'm breaking down chests, and chest gives you gilded lumber. So here's the cool thing. Gilded lumber is lumber. So gilded lumber, normally when you combine some kind of metal together with a piece of timber, that makes it a gilded lumber, right? Makes sense. So in this case, since I needed 2 of these poles to make this stock, I have now these choices. So I can use the corrupted lumber, which I don't want to use, but it has health regeneration, so that would be awesome if you have something like a melee item, right? Or I can use this one that adds range damage and injury resistance, called gilded lumber. So we definitely want to use the gilded lumber for it. Boom. There you go. Wait a minute. Oh, I'm being so stupid. It's right there. It's just called pole. It's not gilded lumber pole. Okay. Never mind me. I'm getting a little bit sick, so my brain is a little bit foggy. But as you can see, when we convert this then to 1 stock, it's going to give you the range damage of 6 and then injury resistance. So boom. So now we're going to have that stock fixed. And there we go. So now we have a stock that adds ranged damage. So that's perfect. We'll like to have a lot of range damage. Now, the action itself, that's something you have to smelt. So if you go over here, I have unlocked action, and that requires an ingot. Normally then I could pick any other ingot that would give you range damage, like this one, 6%. Or maybe I would like something like, let's see, this one that adds range damage, right? So that would be perfect. Now the bombardier, the Lacanus, those are from those bound ones that we kill from time to time. They have a chance to drop these, so that's very good. Then we can also add critical damage, which is nice for any item, if you know where to hit him, where to shoot him. So that's something you definitely want to consider too. But as it so happens, from some of the stuff, you can also find that the bombardiers themselves can drop an already pre-made action. And since I don't really have anything better, then that's ideal to use in this case. And so that will take care of that. So I already have the stock and action ready. Now we want to do a barrel. Now barrel requires us to have a shaft, of course, and shaft requires an ingot. So here's the thing. I already have the stock that do range action, or range damage. I have the action that do range damage. And I really would like to have some let's make sure that how many do you need for the barrel? Just one. Okay, one shaft. So what I want to do is just add critical damage. Now I could add more range damage if I'm not really interested in kind of aiming at any special spot. I'm just gonna do as much range damage as possible. But in this case, I want to add critical damage because with a single shot rifle, you kind of sort of want to aim. That's just the way it is. So while that is doing, we're gonna go over and check out leather. So in this case, for the strap itself, we need leather. And I happen to have a number of different ones. As you can see, most of the leather ones are going to be not so much. It's going to be more like stamina, health, and something like that. But I do believe I did get one that adds ranged. Like this one, the Jabberwock, which was that boss one that we battled. And that gave us the Fable Hide of Jabberwock. That's 2% range damage, some magic power, which is not really translate well to a rifle because you can't put spells on ranged weapons. You can put it on melee weapons. But for argument's sake, why not? So for a leather, I need one hide. So we're gonna go ahead and do the Jabberwock. And that takes care of that. And now the last thing is I'm just going to have to want to make sure that we pick the right one. We don't want a thin barrel because that wouldn't really add anything useful to us. Thin is just one of those materials that I do believe there are some combined metals that, what does it turn into? Brass? Thin? I don't remember. I'm going to have to check that one out. So there we go. So now we have the rewind, bolt action, and now we're going to put that together. So, rifle. I'm going to autofill that. We're going to make sure that we, nope. See, it always picks the wrong one. And, yeah. So that one has the range, that one has the ranged. That one has the ranged, and that one has the critical damage. Perfect. So while that is cooking, we're going to start working on the refined longbow up. So animal fiber. You can actually turn meat into animal fibers, which is pretty much what animal fibers is. It's the sinews of animals. So we have that one would add max stamina. Don't really care for that on that. And as you see, a Fable meat, that's just X. Nope, 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 nope. There are certain others that you can get ranged and even crit damage on. But again, we're coming back to that. So I need one animal fiber, so I'm going to use the Jabberwock for that. And then, of course, for lumber, I don't really have much choice. I'll be honest with you. It's just what it is. I think, let's see. For lumber, actually, no. Am I being silly? Lumber, I do have the gilded, don't I? Yeah, I can just use gilded. I'm being silly. So gilded then give me the ranged. So then I probably want to just use a shimmer. Yeah. Let's check it out. So let's go for the refined longbow. For that I want to use the gilded lumber. For that I want to use the Jabberwock. And then shimmering. That will give me some magic power, but range damage and crit damage. Oh, look at that. 265 in crit. That's pretty sweet. Okay, there we go. So that's the little dirty, small and dirty when it comes to doing like crafting. So it's really your choice. I could have just done range damage on everything. I could have just done crit damage on everything. I could have just done melee damage on a rifle if I absolutely want to be silly. But that one does that. Now, as far as ingot goes, you can't improve the damage of a rifle as far as I know, of any ammunition like that. There are special ammunition that do fire damage. Okay. Yeah. Maybe I just made one. There we go. It is kind of just a single shot, so the reload time can be kind of high. Look at that bow, man. That looks absolutely good. We're gonna try these ones out just to see how much better. Now there are a bunch of different arrows that you can unlock too. One is an implosive arrow. The other one is a entangling arrow. And then the final one I think was just the slicing ammo or something like that. I have not used that yet, so I don't know exactly how efficient that is. I certainly will do it. It does require some things. I wanted to just check if... so you're going to have metal plates. I don't think I have that unlocked yet. Not sure. That kind of be expensive, so I want to just double check and see if you can actually boost that stuff. That would be interesting to me. So let's go ahead and check that infestation out. So first we're going to try out the bow. Let's see what one has more damage. So the bow right now is 203 in damage with a 265 in crit. That is sweet. That one has 228 with a 318 in crit. Sweet. Bejesus. That is pretty good. So we're going to do a little bit cleansing out of the bound over here. And that's going to make all the difference too. The new upgraded axe that I have, that is doing pretty good. I so whiffed that one. Yeah, I'm not blaming anyone for that. That was totally me. Oh. Oh, that's... Yeah. Right in the planet. You hurt me, buddy. You gonna pick that up? Millie. Millie! That's why I hired you. Well, thank you. Jeez. Now here's gonna be a bunch of bound. I have to clean out this whole place. And the bound spawn points are gonna be inside those buildings, which is a little bit annoying. The light looks pretty good though. I think that was one of the improvements they did as well. Yep, they are spawning inside. Cool. Oh. Okay. Oh. You can actually hit her. Yeah, don't worry about it. 715 damage. That's pretty good. Yeah, come on. Come on. There we go. Oh, she's getting her ass kicked. Oh, the bomber. No, 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 no.